Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Adam. I'm here with the Use.
What's up, guys?
What a devastating 0-1 loss against Real Betis at the Camp Nou today. Big game right before the Bayern Munich Champions League battle in the midweek, which will determine whether or not we make it on to the knockout stages of the Champions League. And I understand what happened here. Xavi wanted to rotate some key players, namely Frenkie de Jong, Dembele, and Piqué. Did not start this game. And, you know, what we ended up seeing is when they came on as subs, the game changed a lot. Especially Dembele was very dynamic. Even though Abde did well, it didn't seem like the Coutinho, Depay, Abde front three was really doing anything. And we hit the same type of issues we've hit all season, which is that, you know, we start off the first 15 minutes really well, and then the other team kind of, you know, begins to understand what we're doing. They pick up some energy themselves, and our team tends to fall flat. And then, you know, we go into the rest of the first half with some missed opportunities. We go into the second half. We put on Dembele. We don't have anyone who can close a goal. Memphis Depay, again, looks pretty lackluster up front. And then, you know, the last 20 minutes of the game, we're putting everyone up front because it looks like we have control of the ball. We're doing well. We're almost there to create a goal. We get hit on the counter. You know, players like Busquets jog back. Dest doesn't look great defensively. And then they score that goal. And then, you know, we spend the last 10 minutes trying to score a goal. We're so close a few times. Luc de Jong comes on. And, you know, we can't put away goals. Our expected goals are much higher than our actual goals, which means we're not finishing well the opportunities we have. Sure. And then that leaves us with our defense trying to move the ball up, trying to encroach higher, leaves us on the line for when we get a counterattack, and then they put away a goal, and that's the ball game. So that was, you know, a lot of thoughts about the game and how I felt. What did the game, how did it go to you?
The game looked like Coman ball a little bit after that first 15 minutes. We had struggled in front of the box to create space and take opportunities. It didn't really shift until Dembele came on around that 55, 60th minute. And I think that was the turning point of the only chances we really had to take control of the game. Dembele was looking hot on passing. He looked great on taking shots. Unfortunately,
just not on goal.
Yeah, but the narrative that we've been seeing over the course of this season especially is the fact we just can't finish, right? And the attacking front just can't create enough. Example, Depay looked silent. Right, he didn't have any chances on goal. There was a couple times he ran into the box, but just not opportune. Our midline or midfield wasn't pushing the ball very forward. You know, you saw the loss of Frenkie de Jong in the offense since he didn't start. Nico and Gavi started in the front or in the midfield with Busquets. That didn't seem to be enough to create. And then we also had, like you were saying, that defensive line that came up too high. And on that goal that they countered us on, we had no presence of Araujo because he was too far up. And then Dest was just not had. He didn't have not a high awareness. There was a defender right behind him or attacker right behind him, and we just ended up getting screwed. And then we couldn't do anything after that.
Yeah, it's what's tough is that we have a lot of raw talent.
Sure.
And raw talent doesn't always, you know, it has to mature. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so tough. And we just keep hammering home the patience with Xavi and the patience with the team. And like we talked about after the Villarreal game, I believe, we talked about like, well, what do you blame Xavi for? And then what do you blame just our team and the youth and not having Braithwaite or Aguero? And it's tough, right? Because Memphis Depay, for instance, has just not been good, and I think it's both on him personally and on the setup we have, because it feels like we don't have him often surrounded by wingers, where I think at Lyon he often was surrounded by two wingers and he played a little bit back, whereas we're having him play as like an out and out striker, and you know, in that minute 20 to minute 70 period, you have a lot of crosses coming in from Dest, from Alba, from Dembele, and I just, you know, I've never thought of, and I don't see, I mean, it's clear to all of us, we don't see Memphis Depay as the type of forward who's going to be able to put home a cross routinely, and, you know, that's going to be some sort of effective high goal scoring opportunity. And so
Frenkie looks like he's been more of a striker in other games than Depay is sometimes, right? Most of the time Depay is creating seems to be on the wide sides. And on top of that, like, I kind of want to blame Xavi a little bit for this starting lineup, because we needed Dembele to come out in this game. This was a big game to get 3 points. We are number 7 on the table. Betis was 5 at the time, and we needed those 3 points to make a name for ourselves in this top 4. And as you see after today's result, Betis is now
third, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what's tough, is that, right? Is like, okay, What has a higher chance of us, getting more success, winning this game today or resting some players so that they're, more healthy for the Bayern game midweek? And, we're watching Bayern Dortmund on right now. Dortmund scoring so many goals. Just doesn't seem likely that we're going to be able to stop them, especially in Munich. And so, I think this game probably should have been more of our priority. Now, you go back and you look, okay, well, Lenglet actually was fairly good defensively, right? Araujo was a total stud. But when you have Araujo and Lenglet as the center backs, without Garcia and Piqué, we don't have either of them really the great ability to pass the ball from deep and move it forward, which is tough for the style that Xavi wants to play. And then, You look at it, right? Abde is coming in. We've been all very happy with him. Again, he had a pretty good game today and shows that he has a lot of raw potential, but he is even more raw than Dembele. And I think both of them are players that are unpredictable and can create a lot of commotion and drive the ball forward, which is what we sorely miss. But they just don't have everything put together like we need to be able to, win these tough La Liga games. And that's the thing, is that every game is tough now, right? Like I think slowly we're getting out of the mindset we were 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, especially 10 years ago, where like some of these games were just, we would essentially walk through teams. There's no team in La Liga right now that we can just walk through. And so when you go through the lineup, right, we had Ter Stegen as goalie. Then we had Jordi Alba, Araujo, Lenglet, Dest, then we had Nico, Gavi, Busquets, and then we had Abde, Coutinho, and Depay up front. And again, it's just hard. We say this every week, but it's hard to see who on that team is going to put away goals, right?
Yeah,
it's only Memphis Depay who's going to do it. Coutinho, it just still seems like such a failed experiment. I mean, Coutinho, like the team, right? I feel like Coutinho and Xavi's teams are similar. They come in the first 10 to 15 minutes, I think things are going to go really well, and then slowly but surely they fade as the time goes on. And so I just, again, it's this whole battle, like, okay, what is Xavi's fault versus what is not? I think you're totally correct that the starting lineup probably needed Frenkie de Jong in there. I feel like Nico and Gavi are just a little bit too young to have both of them be the core midfielders on the team. And then at the same time, we don't have Fati yet. Dembele, perhaps we didn't want to start him, not because of Bayern and we want to start him there, but perhaps he's not ready yet to start a full 90 minutes.
I would have rather had him start, though, play 60 minutes, get a goal in, and then take us from there, because we see the hardest times are that maybe the 20 minutes before halftime and right after halftime. We don't come out and then perform miraculously just because we don't have the pieces and the ability to finish. And so we need to get that head start. We've seen this time and time again. They punch us in the mouth, counter us, and they take the lead. It's too late for us to come back. It's a very hard trek because we cannot create. And at the end of the day, I want to say, like, Dembele is the guy right now that's providing enough attacking front against a team like Betis in this case.
And it got to be great for him in his contract negotiations, right? Which we covered yesterday. But, I mean, you just look at the team, and Dembele is the one who's providing that spark, that bit of magic that we need. Yeah. And we were hoping, and I said a lot at the beginning of the season, that Depay could be the guy to do it. But we're just not surrounding him with what he needs to succeed, and I don't know if we have the surroundings to even do that, right? Which is kind of, again, goes like, how much can you blame Xavi if we don't have the players that we need to, play this full system? And one thing that I think Xavi is particularly going to look for, and he played in a style like this as a player and as a coach, is like he really wants verticality. He wants to be able to stretch the field and get balls, over the opposing midfield to our forwards. But when you have Coutinho up there, when you have Depay up there, and you have Abde who's very young, there's just really not those trusted players who you can do those long balls to and get the get us on the run, get us on a mismatch of a 1v2, 2v2, where we can really take advantage. Just Coutinho doesn't provide that speed up front, and that's why it's I feel like we need to have a team built around Coutinho as like a 10, and we just don't have the player set to do that, nor the confidence in him that if we did do that, he would be able to deliver.
Sure. And I keep thinking back to the times we had similar games like this, and the only person that could bring us back from such a hard time was Messi. He was able to create on assists. He was able to score outside the box. He was able to 1-2s and be magical, as everyone would say, Ray Hudson especially. But at the end of the day here, we don't have anybody that we can rely on that's going to become that person as of now, because they're all young, one, and two, they just need to build that confidence, build that time. But, Xavi has some things to work on coming into just the overall season, and I think it's going to be hard to have a player we can rely on consistently.
Well, it's clear to me that Araujo we need to pay him. right?
True.
It's clear to me Araujo is just so incredible and is going to be so important for us for the next few years that, I hear all these rumors like we talked about yesterday about Liverpool and about all these different Premier League teams that might want him. We really need to keep him. And then, Xavi is coaching without one of our biggest talents, right? We talked about Pedri winning the Copa Trophy. We talked about Pedri and how instrumental he is for Spain. And, I do feel like he is one of the missing links, right? I really want to see what Xavi can do with Frenkie de Jong and Pedri in the midfield. I feel like we, again, just need to bide our time until they're healthy to really see what we're going to become. And, going into this Bayern game, after you see this Betis performance, what do you think? I mean, we basically have to hope Dynamo Kiev can beat Benfica, right?
Yeah, I think they could draw too.
Yeah.
At the end of the day here, it's not really a priority on my list to have us beat Bayern 1 because we're really relying on the fact that
Bayern plays a B team.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen, I don't think. And also the fact that I think the real hope here is Benfica Dynamo becomes a draw or Benfica loses. But that is a game I never thought we were going to win. I said this on a previous video. I just don't think we have the capability to take a team.
Well, to stop them, right? Like they'd have to rest their whole midfield and forwards.
And even then, dude.
Well, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys after the Bayern Munich game on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.